Hello children. So now we are going to learn about the other remaining South Indian dynasties, Rashtrakutas. When Chalukya Empire declined, Rashtrakuta reign started. The word Rashtrakuta brings the memory of Kaviraja Marga, Pampa and Kailasanatha temple of Ellora. Now who is the founder of this dynasty? Danti Durga or Dantivarman is the founder of Rashtrakutas. Danti Durga or Danti Varman founded the dynasty by defeating Chalukyas in 753 CE. The capital of Rashtrakutas was Manakheta. Present it is called as Malakheda. As soon as we hear the name Rashtrakutas, the three things that come to our mind are Kaviraja Marga, Pampa and Kailasanatha temple of Ellora. So what is this Kaviraja Marga? I think many of you have remembered this word. When we were studying about Durvinita of Gangas, we have come across it. The Kaviraja Marga is the first available book in Kannada. What is this Kaviraja Marga? Kaviraja Marga is the earliest available work on poetics and grammar. In 850 CE, with the inspiration of Amogavarsha Nripatanga, Sri Vijaya wrote this book of criticism. Now, what is the meaning of the book of criticism? Book of criticism means it analyzes or you can say it studies, evaluates and gives interpretation of literature. That is, how the language should be, what are the styles that can be used here, how a poetry can be written, all such kinds of things are written in the book of criticism. Even the same thing is written in this Kaviraja Marga. Some historians say that it was an inspiration of a Sanskrit grammar book from where Amogavarsha Nripatanga was inspired and had made Sri Vijaya to write same book of criticism in Kannada. That came to be known as Kaviraja Marga. This is the oldest Kannada literary work till today. It was written 1200 years ago. Then another important thing that comes to our mind when we hear of Rashtrakutas is Pampa. Pampa is a great Kannada poet. He wrote epic poetry in Kannada for the first time. So he is called as the Adi Kavi. Adi Kavi means the first poet of Kannada. The poetries written before Pampa are not yet available. Pampa was in the court of Harikesari of Vemulavada. Harikesari was a feudal king of Rashtrakutas. He was under the Rashtrakutas. Pampa has written two famous poems, namely Adi Purana and Vikramarjuna Vijaya. Vikramarjuna Vijaya is also called Pampa Bharata, and this narrates the story of Mahabharata. This has influenced, which one? The Pampa Bharata has influenced many other poets. Ponna, who also belonged to the Rashtrakuta period, was also a famous poet of Kannada literature. Ellora and Elephanta. The Kailasa temple of Ellora is built by cutting a 100 feet tall single rock. Krishna the First, a Rashtrakuta king, built it. We cannot see such a wonderful architecture anywhere else in the world. It is a feast to eyes. ಅಂದರೆ ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಹಬ್ಬ ಅಂತಾರಲ್ಲ ಹಾಗೆ. Among the statues, there is a statue of Ravana lifting the Kailasa Parvata, which is very beautiful. Then many parts of the present Maharashtra belong to Rashtrakuta Empire. Ellora and Elephanta caves are in Maharashtra. We can see the grandeur of Rashtrakuta sculpture in Elephanta Cave Temple. Elephanta is a small island near Mumbai Airport where one can see the huge and wonderful statue of three-faced Mahesha Murthy. You can see the pictures, children. The first one was the Ravana lifting the Kailasa Parvata, and this is the three-faced Mahesha Murthy sculpture. Then the famous kings of Rashtrakuta dynasties were Dhruva, Govinda III, Amogavarsha Nrpatanga, and Krishna III. The first among the famous king of Rashtrakutas was Dhruva. He made a conquest over North India, and his son was Govinda III. Govinda III is the most famous among the Rashtrakutas because he had mastered complete South India. Not only that, he had stretched his military power till the valleys of Himalayas. Then his achievements, these achievements are mentioned in the inscriptions of that time, and it is mentioned that his war elephants had tasted the water of river Ganga. Some historians say that this inscription of Govinda III is at Manapura, a city in central or West India. In this inscription, they are mentioned about the achievements of Govinda III. The next important, one of the famous great kings of India, in fact, Amogavarsha Nrpatanga, he ruled almost for 64 years, which is a record. So this Amogavarsha Nrpatanga is one of the important and very famous kings of Rashtrakutas. He was the son of Govinda III. He was coronated, Pattabhisheka ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಅಂತೇಳಿ. He was coronated when he was only 14 years old. He ruled for more than 60 years. He himself was a scholar, and not only that, he had Sri Vijaya, another scholar, also in his court. Then Amogavarsha Nrpatanga, he was very much interested in the welfare of his subjects. So he built Maneketa city. It is the present Malkeda at Kalaburgi district, and this became the capital of Rashtrakutas. A traveler who had come from Arabia, Sulaiman, his name was Sulaiman, has described that Rashtrakuta Empire was one of the 4 large empires of the world. Earlier, they believed that only 3 large empires were there, that is Roman, Arab and Chinese. But Sulaiman said that Rashtrakuta also belonged to one of the greatest empires of the world, that is Roman, Arab, Chinese, and also Rashtrakuta Empire is included in the 4 large empires of the world. See, that means we must be so proud of our land. Isn't it, children? Amogavarsha Nrpatanga. By hearing his name only, we get goosebumps. Such a great king was Nrpatanga, Amogavarsha Nrpatanga. Next, we learn about another important king, Krishna III. During the rule of Krishna III, Rashtrakuta Empire attained a very important position in Indian politics. Krishna defeated the Cholas and stretched his empire till Rameshwaram. Then he built a pillar of success and a temple. Pillar of success ಅಂದರೆ ವಿಜಯಸ್ತಂಭ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ಅದು. ಯಾರಾದರೂ ರಾಜರು ಹಿಂದಿನ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ದೆ won any war, they would build a pillar of success. So he also, Krishna III also had built a pillar of success as well as a temple. Then he defeated Pandyas and Cheras. Then he collected ransom. Ransom is a huge amount of money for releasing the captives of war. So that is called ransom. So what did Krishna III? He collected huge ransom from the king of Simhala. Then he did his conquest even in North India. A famous poet called Panna was given shelter by Krishna. After Krishna III, Rashtrakuta Empire started declining. Now, what were the contributions of Rashtrakutas in the field of religion? Rashtrakutas were Vaidikas. They followed Shaiva and Vaishnava trends. That is, some of the kings were Shaivites and some of them were Vaishnavites. Inscriptions give information about Rashtrakuta kings giving donations to Buddhism at Kanheri also. You all know that South Indian kings, not only South Indian kings, the Indian kings were very broad-minded kings. So they encouraged other religions also. In the same way, Rashtrakutas had encouraged Buddhism, Jainism also. But Jainism was very popular at that time. Amogavarsha encouraged Jainism very much. As Rashtrakutas had trade relations with Arab, Islam religion was also popular in coastal areas. Many of the Rashtrakuta kings had appointed Muslim officers in their court. Religious tolerance was maintained by all the Rashtrakuta kings. This is about Rashtrakutas. The next kingdom that we are going to learn is about the Chalukyas of Kalyana. Chalukyas of Kalyana or Kalyani. Sometimes they are also called as the Western Chalukyas. The Western Chalukyas or the Kalyana Chalukyas ruled around 10th to 12th centuries. They ruled in between the period of 957 to 1189 CE. The important king or the first king of Chalukyas of Kalyana was Thailapa II. Then their capital was Basava Kalyana near Bidar. Because of this, they were called as Kalyana Chalukyas. And important king or the famous king was Vikramaditya VI. He was the famous king of Kalyana Chalukyas. Vikramaditya VI ruled for a long time, and the Chalukya Empire progressed a lot during his reign. Reign means period, ಅಥವಾ rule anta ಕರಿಬಹುದು. He started Chalukya Vikramashike in memory of his power. Vikramashike is a term used in the historical Hindu calendar. He gave shelter to many scholars. One of them, Pandit Billana, who wrote Vikramanka Deva Charita. Vikramanka Deva Charita is the biography of Vikramaditya. Then another famous scholar was there, Vijnaneshwara. He has written Mitakshara Samhite, which is a description about Hindu law system. Then another important king that we were going to learn is Someshwara III. He was the son of Vikramaditya. He was interested in arts and literature, and he has written a famous Sanskrit encyclopedia called Manasollasa. What do you mean by encyclopedia? Encyclopedia is a book which gives information systematically about all issues of general knowledge. So Manasollasa is a book of knowledge. You may say it as a book of knowledge. Then Someshwara was also called as Sarvagna Chakravarti. But during his time, the size of the kingdom got reduced. He was a great scholar and he was called as Sarvagna Chakravarti. But during his time, the size of the kingdom got reduced. Then Chalukyan kings, the Chalukyas of Kalyani kings gave more encouragement to Kannada literature. Ranna, Ponna, all these poets were there in the period of Kalyani Chalukyas. Ranna, who had the title Kavi Chakravarti, wrote Sahasa Bhima Vijaya or Gada Yuddha. Then these three poets, Pampa, Ponna and Ranna, they were called as Ratnatrayas, which means 3 diamonds of Kannada literature. If they ask you who are called as the Ratnatrayas, you have to answer Pampa, Ponna and Ranna are called as Ratnatrayas of Kannada literature. Then Vachana literature also flourished in the Chalukyas of Kalyani period. Vachana literature is a special contribution of Kalyana Chalukyas. Many Vachanakaras wrote Vachanas in simple Kannada. The most famous Vachanakaras were Jedara Dasimaya, Basavanna, Allama Prabhu, Akkamahadevi, Channa Basavanna, Siddharama, Madivala Machaya, Sankava. These were the famous Vachanakaras. Kalyani Chalukyas in the field of architecture. Lakkundi, Itagi, Bagali, Bandalike, Balligavi were the architectural centers of Kalyani Chalukyas. They were also the centers of fine arts. We have learnt about this. Mahadeva temple of Itagi, which is in Koppala district, is the best example of Kalyana Chalukyas architecture. One of the inscriptions says that it is the emperor of temples. The architecture of Kalyana Chalukyas has influenced Hoysala architecture. Now, next we will be learning about the Hoysalas. Hoysalas ruled vast empire including South Karnataka and Tamil Nadu for more than 3 centuries. The Hoysala Empire was a prominent southern Indian Kannadiga empire that ruled most of the modern day state of Karnataka between 14th centuries. The capital of the Hoysalas was initially, in the beginning, it was Belur, but was later it moved to Halebeedu. Halebeedu is also called as Dwarasamudra. Sala was the founder of Hoysala dynasty. Their royal emblem is Sala killing a tiger. Then the famous kings were Vishnuvardhana and Ballala, the three. First we shall learn about Vishnuvardhana. Vishnuvardhana ruled from 1108 to 1152 CE. He defeated Cholas and Pandyas and conquered their regions, occupied their regions. He was a Jain, but later on he accepted Sri Vaishnava sect, and his queen was Shantala. She continued to be in Jain religion itself. She was very famous as Natya Saraswati. Vishnuvardhana, who was tolerant towards religion, encouraged both Shaiva and Jaina religions. The king we are going to learn about is Ballala III. He ruled from 1327 to 1349 CE. He was the last famous king of Hoysala dynasty. He ruled for 50 years. When he was ruling, Delhi Sultans attacked southern states very often. They destroyed the temples and looted the wealth. Because of their attacks, many famous dynasties of South India, including Hoysalas, disappeared. Ballala III had to face this disaster alone. Then, as he was very old, he was not able to fight with the Delhi Sultans, but still he continued to fight with sultans. But one sultan was there at one sultan's representative was there at Madurai, who was very cruel. He was attacking these Hoysala kingdoms again and again. Although Ballala was old, he continued to fight with sultans, but at last he was killed by the sultan. After Ballala III, Ballala IV came to power, but Ballala IV died very soon. So here ended the Hoysala dynasty. Thus, Hoysala dynasty ended 670 years ago. Now, what are the contributions of Hoysalas to architecture? The contribution of Hoysalas to architecture and sculpture is incomparable. Hoysala temples are very famous for their fine carvings. Some common features are there in these Hoysala temples. What are they? They are built on a star-shaped basement. The Navranga pillars inside the temple are very smooth. On the outside wall of the temple, episodes of mythology are depicted. You can see these common features of Hoysala temples in these pictures, children. Then the famous temples of Hoysala are Hoysaleshwara of Halebeedu, Channakeshava of Beluru, Keshava temple of Somnathpura are very important. Vishnuvardhana built the most attractive Channakeshava temple in the memory of his victory over Cholas. The sculptors who built it are Dasoja of Balligavi and Nadoja of Gadag. The Salabandikes or Madanikes are very attractive that has been carved on the walls of these temples. Keshava temple of Somnathpura is also very attractive. So our Kuvempu has written a poem Bagilolu Kai Mugidu in its praise. In the praise of Somnathpura temple, he has written a poem. He says that the temple is not only a temple, it's a web of art. Hence, O traveller, enter it with folded hands at the entrance. So this is about the architecture of Hoysala dynasty. Then we will learn about the contributions of Hoysalas in the field of literature. Janna, Harihara and Raghavanka are the famous poets of Hoysala period. Janna wrote Yashodhara Charite, Harihara wrote Girija Kalyana and Raghavanka wrote Harishchandra Kavya. Then Harihara started a new form of poetry which was called as Ragade. Andaya wrote Kabbigara Kavya in pure Kannada. This is about the contributions of Hoysalas. Here ends the chapter South Indian Dynasties. If you have any doubts or questions regarding the lesson, you can ask me through WhatsApp. Thank you.